Hey, everybody. We are live right now at the new Colossus sessions. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Brad Wagner. I am your host, and we are lucky enough to be joined by Lila Blue today, all the way from sunny California. Lila, thanks for being here.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. This is amazing. This is round two for us. We recorded a session together like 4.5 more than 4 years ago.
I think it was 5 years now.
Yeah.
I was 15 and I had never really done an interview, and you were very kind to take me on at Paste, and
Yeah.
it was a fun time.
Yeah, totally. Well, we're very happy that you are doing this right now, and congratulations to you, because Leave Me Be, the album, just came out. You released it. You just released it a week ago today, and we're about to hear a number of songs from it right now. Can you tell us what you're going to start out with?
Yeah, I'm going to start out with a little hymn that replaces the first interlude, and then I'm going to go into one of the singles and the first song on the album called Grown Bones. So this is I Know a Place and then Grown Bones. I know a place where the tears don't come, where he has no face and you can be no one. Numbness so delectable and oh so fun. How dare I make something in the nothing? I know a place filled with wonders and wounds, where people toy with people just because they want to. They'll take your heart and tear it into two. How dare they think the beating's just the rhythm? I know a light that just won't go out. I left it out one night and now it can't be found. They tell me don't worry, but I'm sick with doubt. How dare we think the flame comes from within? There's a braid attached at every root. I'm gonna cut each one just to get away from you. The earth will turn an autumn red. I'll walk away, shorn and proud. This is contraband. This doesn't sit right. It feels like lying still on a summer's night. The sweat on my skin lets my body do the screeching. Hurricanes and lukewarm soup, these are the things I think of when I think of you. Oh, insect wings and brittle bones, these are the things I think of when I'm left alone. I go slowly, you went quick. Mama pushed you down the river in her favorite basket, and I can't stand still, but I can't stop waiting. You're just a little boy stuffed into grown bones, playing with the world until your mama calls you home. Oh, I wonder if you've ever had a single good night of sleep. So you make yourself a paper crown, it won't keep, it crumbles to the ground, and yet you still call yourself king. Well, I'll bow as low as I can go. Hurricanes and lukewarm soup, these are the things I think of when I think of you. Oh, insect wings and brittle bones, these are the things I think of when I'm left alone. I go slowly, you went quick. Mama pushed you down the river in her favorite basket, and I can't stand still. No, I just can't seem to stand still, but I can't stop
Nice. Thank you. That sounds awesome. I really like that song a lot.
Thanks.
Yeah, I've been listening to it a lot this week. And the vibe that it has on the album with that. What is that poem? First of all, there's a poem for those of you who are unfamiliar with Leave Me Be. Please do check it out. Stream it on Spotify right as soon as this wraps. Stream it. Please go buy it. Get it on Bandcamp. Follow Lila on Bandcamp. That's the best place to find her things. Can you describe to people what that poem's all about? Because it gives it a heavy vibe. And I googled the lyric, the words to that poem, and had no luck at all. I couldn't figure out what it was.
Yeah, so it's mine. I wrote it. I wrote it initially actually for a flamenco piece that I was involved with an amazing company called Noche Flamenca, and that little excerpt also reoccurs in the album itself. At first in the voice of this kind of like, in my brain, this like preacher-esque human who's my lovely friend named Peter Mark Kendall, who's an actor and has a great voice. That was perfect. It sounded like, I thought it was something from the 50s, like a beat poet just like strung out on speed over his typewriter or something. Like it was cool. That vibe is you set the tone very nicely. And internally, I deeply resonate with that description. 50s beat poet speed. But it also reoccurs around the song Weeping Mother's Song, which I'll play later, which is in the voice of a mother who's trying to protect her child and herself, but she knows that penance is coming. So yeah, that's what that's from. Well, I enjoy it very much. I hope that everyone so we've got, let's see, Mark Malouf. I think I'm saying that right. Mark Malouf is in agreement. Great song. Nice playing. Like the tuning. So outstanding. The internet is on your side, and let's do more music. What do you want to play second or third? You medleyed two into each other, right? Yeah. What's happening? One in my brain. What's happening second and a half? Second and a half song is a song called Toes, Teeth, Tongue. And I wrote for a girl that I was seeing and things did not go well, which is exemplary within the song. And yeah, it's a song that I wrote when I was in pain, and it helped me go through it. And that's kind of it. So here we go. Ooh, 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 Toes, teeth, and tongue, the things I gave you when I was too young. You told me that you were mine, I told you I was yours. We told each other too many things. I swelled inside, but then you punctured me and you tried to tell me that you were done. I told you I was fun. You said no, you're so many things. How can I go on without you? How can I go on without you? How can I go on without you? Oh, how can I go on? I guess I'll just have to. We were girls with simple names. I was a wildfire to your quiet flame, but I could see in your irises the kindest, the quietest of fears that I'd burn you up. I found you braiding her hair. She was a pond with the calmest of stares. You told me she just made sense to you, but the difference was your tongue always tripped on her name. I hope you hold vigil vigil for me on her shores. I hope my name floats from your tongue at her door. Oh, I hope that she drowns you till you can't burn no more. I hope you hold vigil. For what? I'm not sure. I'm haggard, ember, and ash, longing for a love that is long since past. Maybe I'll learn something new, for something to do instead of wasting my days in the dust. I think I've forgiven you. Who could blame you falling for a beauty in blue? But I can't pretend anymore not to know what I'm for. I have to burn and burn I must. Bring me your kindling, I'll give you a show. I may be tired, but there's one thing I know, that fire is fire and it's charred me to the bone. But it's mine, yes, it's mine, oh, it's mine, oh, it's mine, yes, it's mine, yes, it's mine, oh, it's mine, oh, it's mine, yes, it's mine, yes, it's mine, oh, it's mine. And mine Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Nice. This sounds great. I really enjoy the way that that it's coming across with just guitar and vocal, and, and there's a couple more production elements on the album on Leave Me Be. Can you talk to people about what else they can expect from the album? And you play literally everything, mostly everything. I know you're a multi-instrument. Like, who's playing strings on it?
Yeah, so when I started thinking about this album, because the last album, the full LP that I did was pretty much acoustic and pretty much me, and then my producer, Philip Roebuck, who did everything. But on this album, I really wanted a lush, kind of orchestral thing to come through, and that ended up developing into this 14-piece band, technically, that plays on this album. So I'm playing guitar and ukulele, and I'm doing vocals, and at points I did piano, but I had so many people on board, but particularly Samantha Perez, who helped me produce and engineered and also played bass on this. She and I just kind of concocted this arrangement for all of these songs that kind of juxtaposed the solitude that they all kind of contain with this very full sound, which I was interested in finding. So there's a lot of people on this record. Yeah. And the strings that you're talking about, that by an incredible violist named Ashley Frith, and then we have some violin and some cello by some great people as well. So yeah.
Nice. Well, it sounds great. And are you? When did most of where did most of that stuff happen? I know you're kind of a New York person, kind of a San Francisco Bay Area person. I'm in New York right now. You are on the outskirts of the San Francisco Bay. Where did most of this stuff happen? Was it a West Coast centric thing, or did it happen in New York mostly?
It only happened in San Francisco at this incredible studio, Tiny Telephone Studios.
Oh yeah, Vanderslice's place, right?
Yeah.
At the Oakland one, right? Because didn't San Francisco close down?
No, I did it at the San Francisco one. It was like I would walk to work because it was like 3 blocks from my house. And it's so sadly shutting down.
It's still around, right? As well, obviously it's on a break. Like everybody's on a break right now, but not shut down yet.
Not shut down yet. I believe that they will have sessions open until July. That's what I've seen online, and I highly recommend booking the spot. It's incredible. It's predominantly analog run, so this whole album was recorded on 2-inch tape that they recycle through the studio, and yeah, it was super fun to not have a digitally made album.
Totally. Yeah, I didn't know that until right now, and that makes me really happy. I'm glad. And also, I'm really glad. I mean, I would not ever want to miss an opportunity to plug John Vanderslice. The dude's like amazing.
He's epic. He's an epic little wood nymph, and I love him dearly. Yeah, that's where I started recording. I've only recorded there when I was 12 years old, and I recorded my first LP. That's where I did it, and it's a great space. Yeah.
Outstanding. Well, I approve wholeheartedly, as does the internet. Cole approves completely. Victoire approves completely. So there we go. There's still quite a bit more music to be played. What are you gonna do next from Leave Me Be?
Yeah, next I'm gonna do. Sorry, as I tune. There we go. The next one I'm gonna do is the one that reprieves that poem that we chatted about, which is the song "Weeping Mother Song." And in my brain, which we were able to construct at the end of the song on the album, but in my brain, the start and the end of the song are a lullaby. So for anyone listening, including Brad, if you want that narrative journey with me, please do. If you don't wanna, that's so fine. But this is Weeping Mother Song. So if by the time you wake up I am gone, don't try to find a reason, just move on. I know you couldn't handle the truth, so I've decided to stop taking up the space that I took up in you. The pressure keeps on building in my head, so I try to focus on the hands and words pulling me to the bed frame, and then trapping me in like a cage for a bird. Then I start to feel empty, so you fill me up, 'cause I cannot stand feeling hollow, but I don't need to be in love. So if by the time you wake up I am gone, don't try to find a reason, just move on. I know you couldn't handle the truth, so I've decided to stop taking up the space that I took up in you. Our son screams for you, but you are stuck stuck in a trance. How could I have been so stupid to expect to steal the dancer away from the dance? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, oh. So you try to fill me up with words in conversation, cacophonic slurs that mean something to you. But then you leave and I am left here to clean them all up, and they stick to my skin and remind me of you. What if by the time we wake up he has grown into a man who lives life filling up? Girls who feel alone, every lullaby and vulnerable night will be a weeping mother's song. I thought that if I loved enough, what I loved would be good. I guess I never could expect him to not take up the same space where you stood. I thought that if I loved enough, what I loved would be good. I guess I never could expect him to not take up the same space where you stood. Shh, 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 shh. Thank you.
Yes. Lila, thank you. This is great. This is just exactly what I want to do with my Friday afternoon. I don't have to do anything else for the rest of the week. You can play the entire album if you want. You can play all your album. You can play your entire everything if you would like to.
A 72-hour live stream. I say we go for it.
Yeah, totally. I got the time. Got a bottle of wine over there. There's a cup of coffee over here, and those are all the things that I need to go for 72 hours of live streaming.
Yeah, downers, uppers, you're good.
Yeah,
you got it.
That's right. I think I want to keep talking about Tiny Telephone, 'cause I sort of moved into music because it seemed like we had been talking for a little while, but I'm still curious about it. So when you say it's recorded to tape, does that mean is there digital method? Are there digital methods anywhere in the process? I mean, are you editing stuff? Are you doing stuff digitally and then printing back to tape, or is it literally like razor blades and cutting tape and doing it the way they would have in the 70s?
Yeah, so essentially we recorded the entire album on tape. Really, it was on 2-inch, so it was very complicated because you only have so many tracks that you can record on. And we had 14 people playing different things at different times, and it became this kind of like guessing game of what tracks were full and what weren't, and we eventually figured out how to get everything onto the tape itself. And then what we did is that we translated the tape over to a digital method so that we could mix in a way that we were still live mixing sort of, but it was just so we could have an easier time with the mixing process in general. And it was a perfect system, actually. It ended up working out really well. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Thank you for indulging my curiosity there. The other thing that I have meant to ask you this in between every one of these songs, have you ever, has a pick ever been involved in your life ever, or is it always finger?
Always finger. I've never touched one. I've never played with a pick. It's not like I have a vendetta against them. I'm not like, no, I can't do it. It's just, I don't know. It never struck my fancy, and then I never got used to it. And I think that I like the format of the finger to the string. Like I can feel what I'm doing. And I feel like I think I've like jammed once, like in a little camp jam, being like, yeah. And even then it was like almost like disassociated from the instrument for me. So I tend to use my fingies. Yeah.
Nice. Well, good work. I do too. That's how I play the guitar. But I mean, you're changing the tone all the time. You're doing the fingernail thing. You're doing the thumb thing, and really digging in on some of them. I think that you've got a wonderful method going on right now. And would like to hear more of. There's still more, right? I've lost track of how many songs have happened, but I feel like there's however much more you want to play is happening. What do you want to do next?
There's 3 more. So the
Nice.
next one I'm gonna tune back down. This next one is also on the album. It's one of my favorites on the album, actually. I love how it turned out arrangement-wise, and the tones of it really lend to the tape. And it's a song that I wrote when I was 14 about the process of aging, which is now slightly comedic because I think about what I looked like then, and I'm like, you had neon blue braces and ombre hair and had not lived a lot of life. You'd lived some life, but not a lot. But I still really love the song, and it's a very dear one to me. So it's called Youth is Like a Loose Tooth. Youth is like a loose tooth, and I hold oceans inside me. But I decided to give you the kitchen sink instead. There's boys and girls who hold my tongue in between their teeth, and it's lovely at first until the silence starts to fill your head. Oh, what could I have done? He holds me so close, and I know it should mean something, but I go numb. I go numb. And the lines within his face feel like coming undone. Maybe I just coming of age. Your parents showed you a love that just won't keep, and there's only certain melodies to coax you out of your damn dark cage. Oh, what could I have done? He holds me so close, and I know it should mean something, but I go numb. I go numb. I will no longer lie, I will no longer lust, I will no longer cry, trust. I will no longer lie, I will no longer lust, I will no longer cry, I will no longer trust. Secrets sewn into the seam fill you with dread, and you can't spit out the fact that the couple sleeps on separate sides of the bed. Oh, secrets sewn into the seam fill you with dread, and you can't spit out the fact that the couple sleeps on separate sides of the bed. Oh, what could I have done? He holds me so close, and I know it should mean something, but I go numb. I go numb. Age is just eye sockets and sore gums, and I hold whole galaxies inside of me, and I will let you see inside of me, but they're mine to keep inside of me. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. That was great. That's heavy, man. There's a whole lot of like existential dread in that one for a 14-year-old to be thinking about. It's I mean, I think that we all probably had richer lives at 14 than people give 14-year-olds credit for necessarily, but I
True.
don't think that my inner life was that rich when I was 14. Like that's heavy, man.
Yeah, she's definitely a weighty one for sure. Yeah, I feel like eighth grade Lila was parceling through a lot of things. I feel lighter now than I did then, which I think angst wise makes sense, but I feel like some of those questions that I was asking, they just come with time, and I was really not patient for an answer. So, but I do love that song. So,
Yeah. I do too. I wondered, hearing that a song that you wrote when you were 14, and that's 6 years ago, made its way onto this record. I'm wondering what. It's sort of weird to ask you what's next because you literally just released this album a week ago. But I would imagine that if a song you wrote when you were 14 made it onto this one, there probably is a decent sized song book of songs that you have floating around in your head, maybe demoed, maybe recorded in some way, or maybe just written down on a page. What are you doing right now in addition to promoting this album that literally just came out?
what am I doing? I think, well, first to answer your question, yeah, a lot of these songs actually. I feel like this was my album to compile the songs that hadn't gotten onto earlier records that I loved from my younger years. Feels so odd saying that. Anyways, but the Youth is Like a Loose Tooth, Weeping Mother song, Toes Teeth Tongue, those are all from like the 14, 16 range. And I feel like, and then there's songs that I wrote in the studio writing that. So I think that it really runs the gamut. And then I have like 200 songs. So at this point, there's always going to be a backlog, and I'm always going to want to put some of them on. But it's just kind of that debate of killing your babies. But what I'm doing now is I'm kind of just focusing in on writing and like getting to know myself writing, because I've been in school. I'm a college student, and I started to build up all these mental corrals from all of the lessons I was being taught, of like, well, you can't do that, and that's breaking the rule, and da da da. And I realized I'd just built this huge cage for my brain. So at the moment, I'm just kind of working on getting to know myself again in this way, where I don't want to bullshit myself anymore in any regard. So why should I do that in my writing? And not that I have done that in my writing, but I think I started to do it, and I was like, oh no, you got to restart. You got to try again. And then in terms of like the next record I'd love to make is one I've been definitely getting into a lot more like kind of bluegrass folk country root realmed things. That there's definitely some straight up bangers that I've written since making this album, because I recorded this when I was like 18, and it's already been 2 years. And that's the thing with these projects, it's like, oh damn, like you didn't know anything. That's how I always feel when I'm done with them, even though I love them dearly still. But I'm excited to make the next thing. I think it's gonna be different than this, and chock full of bangers, of bops, if you will.
Good. Well, I am very much looking forward to hearing what bangers and bops come out of you. I think that the things that you knew when you were 18 are probably. I'm gonna try to phrase this elegantly. I mean, you're extremely. There's a lot going on. I've enjoyed listening to your music. I can't believe I had no idea until we were just talking before when we were sound checking that you were 15 when we met. I didn't know that until just moments ago. And the songs that you were singing at that point during when the first session that we recorded were not those seemingly of a 15-year-old. And so there's a lot going on with you, and I'm going to stay tuned. I'm a fan of your music is what I'm trying to say. I think that's the most elegant way to say
Brad.
it. Yeah. And you are going to play, there's one more song coming up.
There's two.
Yeah, dude, yeah. Or 15 if you want.
Or-
Just keep on playing. All
Let's
right.
just spend the day. This next one, this is one of the ones that I wrote. The next two that come up are the ones that I wrote in the studio, and even one of them, I played it for Sammy, and I was like, I don't know, dude, like it's just so fresh and new. And she was like, if this doesn't get on the album, I will physically fight you. So that's the last song that's on this little set of mine. But the song I'm about to play is one. I wrote this record when I was going through a gnarly breakup that actually, after recording it, got even gnarlier, unfortunately. But this was a song I wrote for my heartbroken self. And It's a special one. I like it a lot. I like all of them. I should stop saying that. Anyways, I'm glad I like my music, is what I will say. Okay. This one's called Shallow Pond. I paint my eyes black, let my heart go slack, and then I go dancing until my feet bleed. I lie in the cold dark, waiting for a hint of a spark, fumbling numbly with strangers, praying for reprieve. 'Cause there's a thought that lingers in me that I just can't shake. It keeps me up at night, kissing my eyelids till I'm wide awake. I'll let you in. I'll let you in. I let you in. Now how the hell am I supposed to let you out? If you've got any answers, let me know in the comments. I am a cave longing for a day in the sun. I am a loose tooth in love with the gum. Rip me out before I rot us both. And I know that you will forget me, and one day you'll find a picture, maybe a limb I left behind, and you'll take a moment to remember my name. And that day I know something inside will die. But there's a realization I have made that I just can't hide from. There is a space. There is a space that I have made for you, so deep inside my chest. You tell me she's lovely, I can feel that she is. I hope she's a typhoon who can make you resist the urge to love a shallow pond. 'Cause I was an ocean of sharp rocks and debris. I left you bruised, I gnawed on you between starving teeth. Yet you managed to cradle my depths. There's a thought I have that leaves me gasping for air. And all I wanna do is tell you, but you're not here. I love you so. I love you so. So I'll let you go. And maybe one day we can find yesterday again. Let's just find yesterday again. Can we find yesterday again? Will we find yesterday again? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Got applause from there. Is my wife tuned in, applauding for you. He was just in the park right over there, clapping for you. This sounds awesome. Thank you for this Friday afternoon mini concert, Lila.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So I would, for an artist, for a lot of artists, but particularly for you, it seems like writing is a constant thing that's always a part of your life. Have you noticed any in the last 2 months, 6 weeks, whatever, however long we've all been stuck indoors, basically? Have you noticed that to have come across in your songwriting yet? Have you noticed any kind of a different vibe or an urge to write about different topics, or are you writing about the same topics, but then they're maybe colored a little bit by the confine of what's going on in the world right now?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I feel like every type of artist right now is a very skinless person, and as someone who is a skinless person as well, I feel like it's definitely affected the art I make. Um, I feel like the songs that I've written in the past couple of weeks have been some of them have been blatantly reckoning with some of the themes of right now. Like I wrote a song that I probably won't share for a while just because it's a bit complex, but it's around pain and how pain right now feels ever present all the time, but that in some ways pain has been one of the biggest gifts of my life. So that's been an interesting one. And then the other songs that I've written, I just feel like in this time period, everyone's just like reckoning with their shit, or they're not, and they're watching really good Netflix shows, and that's great too.
Or a bit of
But
both. I mean, I'm watching
both.
Killing Eve on Hulu right now, and it's so good.
Yes.
But also, I quit smoking cigarettes, and also I'm
Ooh.
doing push-ups, and also I'm not eating a bunch of garbage, So, but there is, there is wonderful television out there, but there's also room for self-improvement because,
Yes.
a large chunk of our diversions are just completely gone right now.
Totally. And I think the reason I say that is just because I feel like the amount of stuff on social media I've seen where it's like, now's the time to self-improve. It's like, oh, we're not. Like, it's okay to just rest and like not work on yourself, because I feel like we're so productivity oriented in our culture that I'm not really interested in turning the reckoning with myself into a chore or like something to do. I feel like it's just gonna come up with the time we've got, and that's what's happened. Is it's like these songs have been coming out of me that I feel like are the most honest that I've been in a long time. Mainly because I think I'm just alone so much. There's no one to sing them to, so why not write only for myself? I think that's been the main affect of this time.
Nice. Well, that was very, very eloquently put, and I'm looking forward to when those see the light of day. If those see the light of day, and just whatever you put out next, I'm very much enjoying the one that's out right now. Leave Me Be. In case you, the internet, are just joining us right now, Leave Me Be. We're hearing songs from that today. Is that what you're gonna do last as well? Something from Leave Me Be? Leave Me Be.
Yes, from the Leave Me Be. The last thing I'm going to do is a song called Chopping Block. But before I do it, I just want to thank you, Brad, for having me, and thank the new Colossus sessions for having me. This has been so lovely. Yeah, once again, if you could follow me on Spotify and Bandcamp, that would be great. If you don't want to do that, once again, totally fine. But the support right now with all artists is it's needed. But I just want to say thank you for having me before I do this song, because it's a bit of a doozy. I'm not gonna say more than that, except, well, actually I'll say one more thing. I've been performing professionally since I was 11, and I'm now 20, and I think that in that time period the concept of being a performer and a child performer for a good chunk of that has been very complex for me. And so I wrote a song which ends the album with an interlude that I'm deeply proud of, which I would call the shittiest applause known to mankind. So go and check it out if you're interested in hearing that. And this song is called Chopping Block. I'm gonna leave you here on the chopping block. All you'll get from me is the detached compassion that I let your corpse get a tan. I wish I was a windswept girl, all blonde, thin-limbed, and effortless. But I'm effort, and I'm full like a tree trunk pushing its way through the earth. say too much, I'm a glutton or I'm gone. Well, I'll just sing some la-di-das for you, if nonsense is what you all want. La-di-da, 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 la-di-da. I like a lazy lie and a lazy lay in the afternoon on a hot summer's day. But if you ask me, I'll fib all glib and calm and say, lights off, socks on. I wish I was a woman king, but I'm not. I traded my childhood for this, and all that I got was a brick wall between me and you, made slick with pretty poems so you can never get through. I say too much, I'm a glutton or I'm gaunt. Well, I'll just sing some pretty la-di-das for you, 'cause pretty's been wrapped on my knuckles, and pretty is what I've been taught. La-di-da, 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 la-di-da. I was a prophet once, oh, ruddy-cheeked, writing infant hymnals that could make the world weep. Now I'm a lion in a zoo, just pissing myself, hoping I can roar right for you. So, please just leave me here, sucked dry of every metaphor. And when the curtain closes, let's hope that neither of us notices that that's what you're leaving for. La-di-da, la-di-da. So that's that one.
Thank you, Lila.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, this has been wonderful. Leave Me Be is the album. It's out in the world right now, and it's been out for 1 week exactly. So congratulations to you on that, and enjoy West Coast quarantine for however much longer this happens. I hope that that everything that you use this time, it sounds like you have been using this time exactly the way that you are meant to be using it so far. So keep on doing that, and I look forward to when you're in New York next. Hopefully we can host a thing in person, and but until then, this has been awesome, and it totally feels like you're over on my couch right now. So thank you so much for coming and doing it. And again, the internet, please, all on the Facebook. I'm not sure if we did this on the YouTube. Maybe we did, but on the Facebook, definitely there's a digital tip jar. You can see Lila's Venmo and see Lila's PayPal as well. So money matters. Everybody's obviously struggling in some way right now. And musicians are hit particularly hard by this situation. So whatever you can do, awesome. If you can't do anything, then don't do anything. But and all the music is up on Bandcamp right now. Bandcamp is also waiving the all of their fees. I think it's the first Friday of every month, which is right now. So if you buy something, all that money goes directly to the artist. So please do that, and join us also. This is a weekly thing. The new Colossus sessions are weekly. Ali Barter is joining us from Melbourne, Australia next week. So please subscribe to all of the channels, and we appreciate you very much. Lila, thanks so much for doing this. This has been awesome.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been lovely to chat to a human outside of my family.
Yeah. Indeed. All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
Bye.
Bye.